How's it going, everyone? Today I wanted to talk about my first 100 days of owning the PlayStation VR 2. Now, some of you may be thinking, how can you already be on 100 days? Well, I was very fortunate to get a PSVR 2 unit sent to me by Sony, and I was probably one of the first people to put a PSVR 2 review out there, an unboxing, and in that time, I think a lot has happened. You know, the games library is now massive in comparison to how it was when it first launched. Got accessories, and now the honeymoon period is over. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about how this affects my life, because some of you may still be on the fence about whether to own one, and there's been some rocky moments up to this point. You know, we had Bloomberg dropping some negativity about sales numbers, and we had things like the word Mura coming out of nowhere. Everyone was like, whoa, everyone's talking about Mura suddenly. Persistence, ghosting, very small sweet spots, all these things. I think now's a good time to possibly reflect how the PlayStation VR 2 has affected my gaming life. A quick little backstory about how I got into VR. PSVR was the headset of choice for me that got me into virtual reality. Now, why did I choose it? Because of affordability. I already had the PS4. Sony were doing like a early 6-month preview of the PSVR, and it just knocked my socks off. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And even though the Oculus Rift was there and the HTC Vive, I had a pretty bad experience with owning a PC back in the day, like basically getting the blue screen of death. 1 minute your games can run on ultra, within a year suddenly they can't. Things like that kind of put me off the whole PC scene. So PSVR was like the gateway drug into virtual reality for me, and it was amazing. Some amazing titles came to that platform, truly iconic VR titles actually, and still arguably that has the best gaming library. I know Quest is trying to battle that kind of thing with their games library because they've got some really cool exclusives, and we got the MetaQuest Gaming Showcase coming up extremely soon, which I'll be doing full coverage of. So when the PSVR 2 was announced, I completely lost my mind. I got so excited thinking, wow, this is going to be that all over again. And it's been a bumpy road, you know, because PSVR 2, the launch titles were amazing. Gran Turismo 7 is mind-blowing. Horizon Call of the Mountain is mind-blowing. Resident Evil 8, again, is mind-blowing. It has lived up to the hype, but there's been some downsides, and those downsides were things like Mura. When I done my review of PSVR 2, I never knew it existed. So I had to research this stuff myself because I had nowhere else to go to. So Mura. And then there was like the small sweet spot that a lot of people struggle to achieve with the PSVR 2. Hence, some people have returned it, which is a real shame. And then there was persistence, which I thought at first was ghosting. And it kind of still does look like ghosting. But a lot of that has now come down to not just the screen being an HDR OLED, because now we know if you adjust your brightness, you can improve that ghosting, that persistence issue. We now know that games running at 60 Hz, reprojected to 120, is not ideal. It may be good for a developer to quickly achieve impressive results, but what happens is a muddier image for the user overall. And I think more ghosting, it isn't a good look. You know, and since then the community have spoken back, and we've now got native 90 for a lot of titles. And recently, Red Matter 2, a review, I will be dropping my review, but if you want to watch that video, that game is running at 120 Hz native, and the fidelity in that game is nigh on high-end PCVR. It's incredible to see and play. It's really good. My review will be coming in a little while about actual gameplay and stuff, but visually I can assure you that it is incredible. And I really hope that more games coming in the future will have 90 as a bar. It needs to be set at that bar. I personally don't want 60 Hz reprojected anymore. And the other thing I really like is that some games I really enjoyed in the Quest, I now enjoy replaying again on the PSVR 2. Like, for example, Rez and Tetris and Thumper. Why? Because of headset haptics. I really enjoy anything that increases my immersion in games, which is the reason I love B-haptics as well. It's also the ease of setup. So with B-haptics, for example, you have to put the suit on and stuff, make sure it's all charged, connected to the PC or connected to the Quest, and that's fine if you do it all the time. But with the PSVR 2, it's almost like plug and play. You know, you literally put the headset on and you're more immersed by default because of the headset haptics. And then you got the adaptive triggers, which some games have already made fantastic use of. Like as in my gameplay review in Red Matter 2, when the gun gets too hot, the trigger, and this is just an example, is so hard to pull, letting you know as a physical indicator that your gun's messed up, man, and it needs to cool down or it needs to be reloaded, whatever it's going to be. I think that's a really cool feature of the controllers. The headset is so far for me delivering, especially now certain developers have figured out how to get the visual fidelity a little bit higher. I'm loving this headset. And now we have accessories as well. I've done a review on a charge station, which, to be fair, I've not looked at any others. I don't need any more. It's a headset stand and it charges both controllers with a visual indicator, really good strong magnets, and I'm very, very happy with that. We now also have gun stocks, which for those of you who love the aim controller, I would fully recommend the Vader 1. It just makes certain games like Pavlov really, really cool to play using a gun stock. Now, normally I avoid them because reloading can be a real pain, but the way this gun stock is built, it's just not. It actually works really, really well. And last but not least is the comfortability of the headset. I love the Halo strap design, but the material on PSVR 2, it isn't breathable. There's no room for you to sweat. If you sweat in that headset, the sweat will stay on the surface and simply just make your headset, it moves around. So VR Cover brought out some covers that not only would soak up the sweat, but it also adds like a little bit of cushioning, and it makes the PSVR 2 honestly so much more comfortable. There's also a headset strap that comes with it, but I don't personally use that. And all these videos are going to be down in the description. So with all that being said, how much do I need PSVR 2 in my gaming life? As a content creator, it's super easy to make content for, which is a real bonus. But on the gaming side of it, I think it's the high fidelity graphics that I can't escape wanting to talk about, because as an owner of a PC and having upgraded my RAM, my GPU, and as much as I appreciate the experiences that I have with PC VR, I can't help but think like a PS5, and I know I'm looking at it and you can't see that, but my PS5 is here, for £500 or £400, when you play games like Gran Turismo, Call of the Mountain, it's just incredible. It's really incredible. And I think the ease of use and the fidelity and the haptics all merged into one user experience is the best thing. I love it, and I can't wait to see what titles come out. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the level of quality that's hitting the PSVR 2 store. We've seen like some real Steam indie games that I would not have played, and to be honest, the way they're all coming now, I might have to ignore some of them. I won't have time to review every single game that comes to this platform, which is a shame. Now, another thing I really like about PSVR 2 is being able to own physical games. It's so good to have box art. You know, like one day I really hope that I could get box quoted on a game. So yeah, that's another thing I really, really enjoy, and I hope that keeps coming. For example, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I've already got that, and I bought that as a physical edition. Well, I could have bought digital, but I bought it physically because I want to keep it for my PSVR 2, because obviously VR mode to that is coming, and I simply cannot wait. So looking forward to the future of PSVR 2. What is it going to bring to us as gamers? I think it's going to bring games like The Last of Us, God of War, hopefully Wipeout again, hopefully Astrobot, hopefully a Spider-Man game. There's so many PlayStation exclusives that could get virtual reality added on. It just blows my mind. I'm so excited to see what the future holds. And also, you've got to remember, the system wasn't available in shops, first of all. You know, I heard it was available in some shops in America, but mostly you had to order it off PlayStation Direct. And now, from like May the 12th, so 2 days ago, you can now go and get it out of a shop. That will have a significant impact on sales numbers. In these 100 days, a lot has changed and a lot of good has happened. Would I recommend you pick up a PSVR 2 if you're into virtual reality? 100%. I've really, really enjoyed myself. I love it. It's one of my favorite headsets now. Considering I've got the Quest and PSVR 2, I've pretty much got everything I need for virtual reality, because the Quest not only has really good exclusive itself, it's also a retro emulation machine. And I love playing old games like Return of Castle Wolfenstein, Half-Life, recently Prey VR, all these amazing games. Virtual Boy, you can play the Virtual Boy on the Quest. There's so many great things that both these headsets do, and they really do give me so much content. So I'm very excited to see where PSVR 2 goes, and thank you for being on this channel, and I'll be here through the life cycle of all these headsets until I simply can't make this content anymore. So let me know your thoughts about the PlayStation VR 2 down in the comments. How has it affected your gaming life? Because obviously I know some of you are still playing the games you got when it first launched, because there's only so many hours in a day that you can game. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more VR content, and I'll see you on the next one.